So imagine being the president of the United States,
Yeah.
right? And you're forced into this covert mid-air plane swap over Turkey because of an incoming missile threat.
Which is terrifying on its own.
Oh, absolutely. But then you find out later the CIA actually thinks the threat might have been a complete phantom. Welcome to this deep dive, where today we're pulling from the August 13th, 2026 edition of the Daily Tech Reader.
And our mission today is to really unpack this bizarre reality where, earthly intelligence is failing us on the ground, just as we're pouring hundreds of billions into artificial intelligence in the cloud.
Yeah, it's a fascinating dichotomy, and we're going to look at how a secret presidential plane swap and an IAEA for AI actually connect to your weekend stargazing plans.
Right, well, let's start with that plane swap in Ankara. Because Trump was diverted due to Israeli intelligence about an Iranian shoulder-fired missile plot.
But now a CIA assessment has come out expressing like low confidence in that very intel.
Exactly. And at the exact same time, you have the U.S. and Iran making completely contradictory claims over who actually controls the Strait of Hormuz amid an ongoing naval blockade.
It's honestly like a high-stakes game of telephone. The Israeli intel reflects one threat, the CIA sees this distorted version of it, and the president has to react to an illusion. But, the people paying the price aren't in the Situation Room.
No, they're not. The human cost of this murky intelligence is very real on the ground. I mean, we're seeing reports of exhausted U.S. sailors attempting to jump overboard as these Middle East carrier deployments drag on endlessly.
God, that's so grim.
It really is. And then there are the civilians in Yemen.
Yeah.
The Pentagon's Operation Rough Rider report just confirmed 153 civilian deaths from U.S. airstrikes. The machinery of these geopolitical blind spots is literally grinding down the people caught inside them.
Yeah, and you see that systemic strain everywhere, right? Like Caroline Leavitt resigning as White House press secretary.
Or the sustained Ukrainian drone strikes causing major fuel shortages in Crimea. The physical world is just incredibly fractured right now.
It is, but here's where I get whiplash. Because while the physical world is locked in naval blockades and drone strikes, the tech sector is acting like we're entering a golden age. The capital flooding into AI is staggering.
Staggering is the right word. Silver Lake is bidding $43 billion for Workday. And Anthropic is eyeing Descartes AI for $6 billion.
Right, and Lenovo's AI-related revenue just jumped 60%. But help me understand, Vantage Data Centers weighing $100 billion IPO. I mean, is this just another dot-com bubble, or are we building the 21st century electrical grid here?
Well, I think it's the latter. The industry has really shifted from building software to building heavy physical infrastructure. AI at this scale requires massive concrete buildings, advanced liquid cooling systems, and entirely new power grids.
So it's heavy industry now, not just code.
Exactly. And at the exact same time, the software itself is becoming a cheap utility. Like SpaceX AI just dropped Grok 4.6, and they're pricing it at $2 per million tokens.
Meaning what exactly for the listener who isn't, buying enterprise API access?
It basically means they're driving the cost of incredibly advanced reasoning down to almost zero. They're completely commoditizing intelligence. And that hyperscale growth is actually terrifying some of the people building it.
Yeah, Google DeepMind's Demis Hassabis is currently pitching U.S. officials on an independent AI oversight body modeled after the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency.
Which is a huge conceptual leap.
But I have to push back on that, though. Hassabis wants an IAEA for AI, but how on earth do you regulate code? I mean, you can't inspect a math equation the way you inspect a nuclear reactor.
Well, the argument is you don't regulate the code, you regulate the compute. An IAEA for AI would track the physical uranium of artificial intelligence, which is those high-end server chips.
Oh, I see. So they'd monitor the global supply chain of these massive data centers.
Right, to ensure no one is secretly enriching data to build a rogue superintelligence.
Okay, so with tech billionaires trying to track the physical chips of superintelligence and the world locked in these Hall of Mirrors conflicts, it makes perfect sense that the public is quite literally looking anywhere else.
Yeah, people are flocking to theaters. The summer box office just crossed $4 billion.
Which is wild. And Spider-Man, Brand New Day just broke $1 billion globally. Even though theater owners are terrified of the Paramount WBD antitrust trial reducing studio output, the audiences are still showing up in droves.
We saw the exact same phenomenon during the Great Depression. When real-world anxiety peaks, Hollywood booms. Audiences just retreat to familiar, high-spectacle narratives where the good guys clearly win.
So it's escapism. Are we just hyper-consuming nostalgia to escape the anxieties of everything we just talked about?
I think so. It's the same reason we're seeing massive engagement for tonight's MLB Field of Dreams game streaming on Netflix and the NFL preseason kickoff. It's the deep comfort of predictable rules.
Yeah, predictable rules sound really nice right now. And when we aren't looking at screens, we're literally looking at the sky. Huge crowds just gathered in Spain for their first total solar eclipse in 25 years.
And NASA is telling everyone to look up for this weekend's Perseid meteor shower.
Even though the American South is trapped in this brutal heat wave with indexes hitting 110 degrees, we're standing in boiling heat just to look at a shooting star.
We're desperately looking for a vantage point that's above the current fray.
Which really leaves you with a fairly massive contradiction to mull over this weekend. If tech leaders believe we need a unified IAEA-style global oversight body for superintelligence, how can we possibly achieve that global consensus when we can't even agree on basic intelligence regarding the Strait of Hormuz or the security of a presidential plane?
That's the big question.
Really is. Enjoy your stargazing, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.